for me today. I got up early so that I can reconnect with myself and to do this video. Everyone is sleeping, and I like getting up before everyone so that I can refresh, like, get my thoughts and process so that I can start my day and unwind a little bit. Instead of me getting into the hustle or bustle of life, I take some time to reconnect with myself, to feel in balance. So I have my incense, fragrance, smelling in the background, and I'm feeling really blessed this morning. I have my tea that I'm drinking. So if you want to, take a little moment to get some tea before I go into the topic of the breath of life, you may do so. I'm going to give a little moment. I'm going to sip on my tea before I go into the topic. One love to you all, I want to say. Take the time to taste it. Yes. Usually we rush and we don't really get the time to even taste what we're eating. So I take the time to taste. And that also help in not eating too much also, instead of you gulping. You're taking the time to taste. To go into the topic of the breath of life, as I was saying, I got up this morning to reconnect with myself and to do this video. But there was a time in my life that I would always rush, be into that hustle or bustle of going to a 9 to 5 and getting caught up in traffic and public transportation, and not before I get into the worldly things, cleanse myself and rebalance myself. So every day I was pushing without taking the time to re-nourish myself, my mind, my body, and my spirit. Your mind and body and spirit is aligned with one another. So when one gets disconnected, the other will get disconnected. So the breath of life is very important because, as you know, without the breath, we have no life. So we have to reconnect with ourselves and be in tune with our breath. Even now, you could have shallow breathing, and you may not even be aware of what type of breathing you have because you're always in a rush of things. Excuse me, let me put this tea down. Because you're always in a rush of things. So I recommend taking some time during the day, in the morning, before you rush out, to reconnect with your spirit and to realize that when you go into the world and you have to take care of your business, you're connecting with other spirits that have energy. I'm not talking about spirits like ghosts, anything of that nature. We all have energy. I was watching a science channel the other day with my nephew, and the topic was on sharks and how there were shark attacks where people were being bitten by sharks between South Carolina and North Carolina because the salt levels in the water were very high. So, and being that the salt levels in the water were very high, these sharks were able to detect the energy that was given from the human beings. So note, that should tell you right there that we are energetic, we have energy, and it can be detected by the sharks. So if the sharks can detect you by your energy, what does that tell you? We have energy. So me and my nephew were conversating about that, and he understood, and he's very young, and he's on that scientific level. He loves science, so me and him can relate to things, and I find that to be beautiful. So getting back to the breath of life, now you want to take that time in the morning to reconnect with your spirit, because everyone has an energy field, and you're entering into that level of energy that they have. So back and forth, you're conversing and you're doing things and you're sharing energy. So you want to make sure that you take the time to reconnect with yourself before you get into the world, and to breathe, to rebalance yourself and your spirit, and to breathe from the very existence of yourself. And I always speak about essential oils, and I will always talk about it as a topic that I love. I'm in love with my essential oils. I'm not in love with anything else right now. Well, I can't really say that, but I'm in love with, my essential oils. I will elaborate on that level of loving my essential oils. So I want to take the time with you right now to I have my lavender essential oil. Because right now you may be merely breathing and having shallow breathing, and you may not even recognize what type of breathing you are having, what type of breathing you are doing. I put some lavender essential oils in my hand and rubbing my hands together, because that's one way of you experiencing the essential oils without having a diffuser. So this is like aromatherapy, and you're taking the lavender and you're smelling it in your hands. You're cupping your hands together. So in me cupping my hands together and you cupping your hands together, you get to smell the essential oils, and it releases the aroma when you smell it into your nostrils, into your diaphragm. I just love to breathe it in. So it releases it into your cavity, into your diaphragm, into your cavity. And you're focusing on your breath. So when you're inhaling, you have to exhale. You're letting it out. Breathing in. You're letting it out. You're experiencing your breath. You're taking control of your breath, and you're realizing the rhythm of your breath. And some of us are not conscious of that, of how we're breathing. Everything we're rushing, bam, bam. And you're breathing, of course, but how is your breathing? Are you learning to take the time to feel your breath, to come back and balance with yourself? And in me doing yoga, I feel a grace. I'm grateful every day. I practice my grace. And there was a day that when I was doing my yoga, I did a pose, and I felt like my my chest cavity just expanded and opened up, and allowed breathing, the air to flow to my lungs. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful, because I never experienced that before. So what I'm sharing with you is that we can do things to have a deeper experience and to help our body to assist in letting our breath travel to our respiratory system. Our body is beautiful, and our body speaks to us and tell us things, but we have to listen. And taking the time within the day to reconnect with ourselves, We can allow ourselves to breathe better and to experience this life better by becoming in tune with ourselves and our existence. Because the breath of life is our existence. And I don't want to take too much of your time because I am a talker when I get to talk, and I'm becoming more of a talker and becoming comfortable with doing videos now. Because there was a time when I just like, bam, I would just be speaking and, you know, things would just be coming out, and it's all right, you know, to talk, but you want to stay on topic also too. So it's a blessing to do this video this morning. And I want you, the moral of me doing this video is to say to you to have more power in your breath, to understand the power of the breath, and for you to be more aware of your breath, and to take the time each day before you go out into the world to reconnect with yourself, your existence, so that you can be more aware and conscious of your environment and who you are communicating with and sharing your energy with. Come back to your essence. Feel the grace. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you a very blessed day. This is Pamela from Back to Essence. Until my next video, one love.
Impossible to do, reciting the makings of you.